The earlier you spot it, the better position you are. And I think that's a very, very important lesson. Who are the most developed countries in the world today? These are people who have been ahead of the curve in science and technology. I mean, the Industrial Revolution happened in UK. Now, why it happened, let's not go into the history, but it happened there. And that gave them a lead for 200 years and they ruled large parts of the world. And that was immediately followed by large parts of Europe. I mean, till England had the Industrial Revolution, Europe was what mattered in Europe. UK didn't matter. England was a small country in Europe. It was not a power. It became a power thanks to the Industrial Revolution. And it was largely driven by science and technology. It was driven largely by the steam engine and a whole host of production technology which makes them a manufacturing power. And then they went around the world. And then Britannia rules the waves, and the sun never sets on the sun. And so on, it was followed by Europe. What happened? 2 wars, America caught up, and what you saw in the 20th century, particularly after Second World War, is the dominance of the American economy in the world, driven by science and technology. What makes America a leader in the world is not Coca-Cola or Pepsi. It is actually, the IBMs of the world, followed by the Intels, and then followed by the Apples, and now followed by all the companies, and all the other companies which are actually taking America to the frontiers as far as technology is concerned. It's the education system, it's the manufacturing system, and the corporate system working very, very closely together with support from government, which has kept America in the leadership position. I mean, that's something we all must realize. I mean, the total investment by the 5 big tech firms in the US in the last 1 year, 24, and being planned in 25, exceed their investments in the last 25 years, cumulatively. In 1 year, they're investing more money than they invested in 25 years. The kind of money which the giants, the top 5, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Apple, Google, etc., are investing in currently AI, but all related stuff, is mind-boggling, which is more than what most nation states do. And I think that's something to remember. And what has happened is in our own neighborhood, we have a major economy, China, which has actually aggressively pursued the path to modernization. China began with low-cost, labor-intensive manufacturing, mastered it, but mind you, at the end of it, there was still just 10% of world manufacturing capacity. And then in 2015, they started a Made in China program. But they were not talking about shoes, clothes, and garments. They said, we will go into high-tech areas. And today you see them in leadership positions, in EVs, in multiple areas, in defense technologies. They are there. There is this old story that they make the hardware, India makes the software. Who produced the first big LLM outside the United States? You had DeepSeek coming as a challenger to ChatGPT. It didn't come out of India. So what I mean is, there's a transformation that happened there because there was directed funding, whole host of support, and industry, academia, all of them worked together, and they decided to crack technology. And suddenly you are seeing that this is a country on the horizon, which has now suddenly emerged, and now it is actually becoming a leading power in a large number of technologies. So the underpinning of modern economies, and particularly if you want to be a globally relevant nation, is technology. And I think that's very, very important. And I think that's the direction India is moving. And I think that's the vision of our Prime Minister. When he says India should be a developed economy has many attributes. And one of the major attributes is it has a major science and technology ecosystem.